Hi, I'm Mark Garber, and today is April 15th, 2022, Saturday, and I'm here to describe the start of my project, which is the development of, which involves the development of cloud software. And I figured one of the first things I needed to do was actually upgrade my workstation, the workstation that I had been using for the past 10 years. Probably needs to be upgraded. So I'm going to describe the components that I purchased to put that workstation together. So the first item that I have here is the motherboard, which is this Rogue Strix B550A gaming motherboard. Now, actually I'm building a workstation, but I've found that from the previous system that I built, which was also a gaming system, those worked well as a workstation as well. The next item is a video card, which is an Asus GeForce GTX 1050 Ti from Asus. This is about a $190 item. You can spend upwards of $1,000 on these video cards, especially for the gaming cards. But I think this, for my purposes, which is a software development, mostly back-end software, this should be more than adequate for the workstation that I'm building. This next item is the Master Air MA610P ARG-B from Cooler Master. This is the fan that sits down on top of the processor. Now let me turn it around towards the front here. And you know, in these gaming systems, since they overclock them, they tend to use water cooling systems, but I opted not to overclock my system and just use standard air cooling on it. And I think this should be more than adequate for what I need. The memory, I purchased this Vengeance from Corsair as well. Two 32 gigabit kits for a total of 64 gigabits. You might think that I'm probably purchasing too much for a single workstation, and I'd say for most applications that would be true, but since I plan to run a few virtual machines on the real machine, that it's probably helpful to have a good bit of memory. And also speed up the response of the system. As far as storage, I purchased a 970 Evo Plus from Samsung. This is 2 terabytes of storage. I think this should be enough for what I plan to use it for. If I need to store anything for a long period of time, I'll just store it out there on the cloud, which you know, I have purchased from from actually 2 different vendors. This other item here is the power supply, which is an I think it's EVGA, a 750 watt gold supply. This is probably maybe 2 or 3 times more power than I need to power the components that I've purchased so far. But you know, if I want to expand, I have plenty of room to do that if I add more devices to the system. This last item here in the case is actually the case that will encompass all these components. And forgot one more item here, which is the central processing unit, which is an AMD Ryzen 9 5900X. This is actually a 12 core CPU which can accommodate 24 threads. So if you're running a few virtual machines, it's helpful to have quite a few cores within the processor. The last machine that I had was only an 8-core, and it was sufficient for what I need, but I figured I'd step up a little and add a few more cores, especially with the extra memory. The extra memory I have would accommodate multiple virtual machines, and so would be the case with the extra cores. And then finally is the case that's going to house all these components. So there you have it, all the components of Mark's new workstation. And the next video that I will compose will be all these components fitted in the case. So thanks for listening. Bye.